When I failed school and I was expelled, one of the teachers said, "You would never be good academically."
Today we are going to have a conversation with Antish. He's one of the amazing individuals from Africa.
Thanks for having me, Frank. It's always great talking to you and now talking to the audience. Hey, my name is Antish, and I'm from Mauritius. It's a very small island in the Indian Ocean. It's just on the east off coast of the African continent, and we have around 1.3 million people around, and we usually speak four languages. So it's English, French. Since my ancestors came from India, so it's Hindi, sorry, and then we have Mauritian Creole, which is like a fusion of Africans and French. So yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to our conversation today.
All right, amazing. What do you do?
Yes, I forgot to say what I do. So basically, I have a diverse background. I started in my undergraduate in banking and international finance, and then I started working for the first 3 years of my life in a financial institution in Mauritius in product development. Then I was fortunate enough and grateful to get a Chevening scholarship. So I studied in the UK at the University of Exeter, and I did my master's in creativity, innovation, and business strategy. I also passed my CFA level 1, which is like a chartered financial analyst. And after that, I worked for a year at the US Embassy in Mauritius in international and trade. And now, since the past 4 years, I'm really into something that I'm very passionate about. I'm working at a business incubator in Mauritius where we are really supporting entrepreneurs and startups who are looking to make an impact, socially or environmentally, but also make a profit. So it's a very exciting field to be in, and supporting startups like you and many other fellows that we see in the African continent, so that they can make the impact that we wish to have around the world.
Let's look at an individual who has done business and they feel like they have failed at almost everything.
They have failed.
Yeah. So what steps should they take right now?
One of the things about failing that we also talk to entrepreneurs, one of the things that you need to keep in head that failure is something guaranteed, because you're going to fail at different levels. Because it's good also to fail. One of the things, for example, when you're developing a new product that you're going to sell in the market, this is why we say there's a minimum viable product that you need to put there. It's the less amount of resources with the maximum amount of feedback you're going to get. And those failure are learnings for you that are invaluable, and you are getting those learnings which others are not getting. So you're ahead of the game in some ways. So how do you use those learnings and how do you pivot? That's one of the most important part of entrepreneurship and a business as well. So how do you pivot based on those feedback is really important. So I would say, don't take failure as a way for you to stop what you're doing. Take it as an opportunity of what you can change and make it better. Because those feedback are invaluable. And you should never stop just because of some failures. But you should not keep doing the same thing as well, even if you're failing. Because I guess it was Albert Einstein who said, if you are expecting the same result while doing the same things over and over, then you're a fool. You should be able to take the feedback the right way and try to test the other avenues that are there.
I want to learn and they want to learn from you.
Yes.
The mistakes you have made personally. And how have you been able to overcome them? And what lessons have you taken?
That's a deep question. Mistakes are part of life. I guess everyone makes it, and I'm happy I made those mistakes. But I don't really see them as mistakes. I see them as things I had to do to get where I am. So because of those things that I did, I'm here. So I would never go back and say I would never do that again, because this is why I'm here. For example, I was like, when I was 16, 17, I was never really going to any classes. I was bunking school. I was drinking, smoking, never going to school. And I used to fail my class. I failed twice the same class and I was expelled from school. And for me, in the back of my head, it was always like I wanted to go to university, because no one in my family ever went to university. I was the first one to go. So, but I failed. I failed the course and I was expelled from school. So you could say that was a mistake because although I had a dream, I was not really following it. So this is when it was a turning point in my life. I had some savings and I put in a private tuitions that I took. And then in a year, I was able to catch up with the 2 years that I was not going to class. And I got the opportunity to go to university. And from then, I did very well in school. In university, I got the first class honors for my first degree. I got distinction for my masters, and I've just been pushing forward. I got the Turing Scholarship as well, and now the Mandela Washington Fellow. So that was a great learning for me, and I feel those mistakes are very important. If I didn't make that, I would never have got the value of getting up again and really pursuing my dream and doing things that I really want to do. The persistence, the determination to do it. So that's one of the things I would say. It's good to make mistakes, not intentionally, because sometimes you don't know where you're going. But don't keep making the same mistakes. Like, how do you come back? This is what I was saying. What I guess you need to be clear where you want to go and how you can make those mistakes as a valuable learning to get ahead, rather than just saying that. Just to mention as well, when I failed school and I was expelled, one of the teachers said, "You would never be good academically."
Yeah.
Like a teacher saying this to you is like, oh. But it's how you take that and turn it around. And this is one of those moments in my life, I would say, if that answers your question.
Yeah. And the lessons?
The lessons from it was, as I told you, making mistakes is not a death sentence.
Yeah.
It's fine to make mistakes, but it's more important to realize a mistake, not to do it again, because you're sane enough not to make the same mistakes, and to take it as a learning and move forward 10 times better.
You talked about the issue of your teacher discouraging
Yes.
you. Entrepreneurship journey has a lot of discouraging moments.
Yeah.
For example, there is an individual I agreed with. I was looking for money, and I was desperate to get money for the company. And this gentleman tells me, "I'm ready to invest. Let's have a call. Send me this and this and that and that." It took like 1 year doing that. Then later he told me, "Let's have a final call."
Yeah.
We had the final call. We agreed everything. Then he disappeared. I kept on sending WhatsApp messages. He couldn't respond.
Yeah.
WhatsApp he couldn't. Email couldn't respond. There are so many discouraging moments. How do you persevere in such a situation?
Yeah, I mean, you are the greatest example because you're still striving for it despite the letdowns. But one of the things I learned from my journey is sometimes it and I guess Dalai Lama said it as well. Like sometimes it's a stroke of luck when you don't get what you want to get, because you might get something better. And this is what happened to me as well. Like a lot of the times, you see an opportunity, you're like, I want to give it my best, and I want to make it happen, but you don't get it. But then I realized I got something even better than that. So sometimes I guess it's good. It's you're lucky that you didn't get that because you never know what could have happened. And I guess these are testing moments to see how passionate, how strong-willed, and how determined are you to achieve, as I mentioned earlier, your why and the goal you want to achieve. And if you're sticking to it even a little bit more, it means you're strengthened and you want to get there. And I just feel that this is why you should never give up. You should always persevere and get what you want to get. This is the only way you can get it. We've supported a lot of entrepreneurs, I'm saying, and hearing no is something which is more usual than ever, because you're going to get a lot of negative feedbacks about your product, about getting finance and stuff like that. But a lot of the times, as I mentioned, you need to also reflect why that guy ghosted you, or why a customer is saying your product they're not liking it. Because one of the things you need to realize is not you. It's not you. It's about the project. And the role you have is how you can make it better. So there are two things. The first thing is maybe you didn't go to the right person, which doesn't make sense. Or maybe this is why it comes to the business again. Maybe they are not your right target audience. So your question is, who is your target audience? Who makes sense for this product or that you're looking for? Or the next one is, maybe they are the right target audience, but the way I pitched or the way I approached them wasn't the right way. So what I can change in that, and or the product, what I can review or pivot based on that. And it's life happens sometimes. It could be, so there are many things that would be beyond your control. So the only thing you can control is you and your attitude towards it. So I would say always taking as a learning opportunity, and don't be let down by one refusal. There are many examples of so many people, like successful people, like J.K. Rowling. I guess you know the one who wrote Harry Potter.
Yeah.
She got around 100 rejections or something. I'm not right, but 100 rejections. Many others got so many rejections, but they persevered because they believed in their project. And I guess a lot of the times, even for startups, sometimes they're early in the market. There's no one else doing this. So there are going to be less and less people who believe in your project. But you still need to be the advocate of your project and keep pushing until the right time and opportunity matches, I would say.
I have two people I know personally. Every time they try something and they tell them no, they get emotional. I've kept on motivating them, but since motivation is not enough, is there any way can someone be able to receive no in form of grace?
Yeah, I guess it depends on everyone's personality and how they deal with their emotions. This is why emotional intelligence is very important as a leader. And I guess again it comes to the why. It's always comes to the why. Like, is the purpose bigger than you? Like, this is why we say, like, if you have a big vision and you're really passionate about it, you would be like a horse with blinkers. No matter how many people say it's not good or you get rejections, you're still going to persevere and go there. But again, I say this with, it's not always that they're saying it in a bad way. They might be saying it and you need to see what you need to change. But if you still believe in what you're doing and you think there's a potential there, I just feel you need to keep going. But again, it depends on personalities. Sometimes definitely we are humans and it might feel bad that you got a rejection. Just how you deal with it. For me, for example, one of the things I do is I try not to react to it like impulsively, and I take some step back. I sleep on it, and I'll take time to digest what just happened, and then take a call and action. So that would be one of the advice: not to react. You can definitely feel the emotion. You can cry. You can eat, whatever you want to do, but don't react impulsively, and just take the time to understand what happened, why it happened, and what you can do about that as a lesson, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Wow, I really believe the African child is learning. What one thing that you are doing to better yourself that you think can inspire the African child?
That's a great question. What one thing I'm doing to better myself?
Yeah.
I guess the biggest thing that you can do, which we learned as well yesterday in the session, I guess all of us can really work. Like, this is what we are taught academically to be intelligent. So a lot of people are high in IQ, but they are low in EQ, emotional intelligence. And my biggest advice is, as a leader, as a person, or whoever it is, as a normal person, emotional intelligence is very important. And I guess you have so many aspects of it that could help you as an entrepreneur, which is empathy, knowing your customer, being in their shoes, feeling what they're feeling, so that you can design something for them, because you're not designing for you. That's one of the things, human-centered design. Feedback, when you get feedback, then you can really understand, like putting yourself away from it and seeing it as a third person, where this feedback is coming from, what I can do from it. So how do you handle yourself, I would say. Also, managing a team, it would come with that emotional intelligence as well. You're going to deal with a lot of people with different emotions, with different perspectives, different background. And how do you deal with all these people who come with that emotional intelligence? And one of the things that I love to do is like I really love to read a lot about psychology. There's one book I would recommend highly is The Four Agreements to you guys. Read it because it's really important. There are four parts of it, if I can remember, if I'm not forgetting it. There are four agreements that you need to have with yourself. Is the first one, not making any assumptions. A lot of the times we just see things and we're like, this is it. But that's not true. You're very biased in terms of things you're saying. Someone is telling you something, you might be assuming they're saying something else. But this is why you should not make any assumptions about whatever is happening. That's the first. It even applies for businesses. You should not assume what your customers are looking for. You should go validate it in the market. We those people, not you, what you're thinking as an entrepreneur. The second one was it's more about spell, like what you're saying. You should really know what you're saying, even to yourself, because they say what you say is a spell. Because whatever you say, even unconsciously, you don't realize it. When you say it, it affects you psychologically, and you start believing it. So that's the second part of it. Even when you say it to someone else, for example, if you say something bad like your product is shit, it can really affect someone and stop them from making an entrepreneur. So it's more about how you say things as well. So that's the second one. The third one was I'm so much forgetting about the third one and the fourth one. But I advise you to check the book. It's a great book.
What excites you most about your work?
Yeah, thanks for that question. What excites me most is I love. This is why I did my master's in creativity, innovation, and business strategy. What excites me most is that I get to support a lot of startups coming with innovations, but the main reason is with purpose, because there's a greater good out of it. Because I know the startups I'm supporting, it's going to have a bigger impact to society and the environment. So I can say that I'm doing good through them. So that's one of my biggest happiness, where I can merge innovation with impact, and working with different minded people and creating opportunity for them is the biggest satisfaction I get from that.
Thank you so much, Antish. You have all the honor and the time to give advice to the African child.
Yeah, thank you. When you're starting your startup, start it with a bigger purpose, with a bigger mission that could really address the real problems that we are facing as an African continent today. So look at the bigger picture. I know we all want to make money, we all want to make profit. That's very important. But this is my message to you, we can make money while making impact. So keep that in your mind when you're coming with your ideas, when you're establishing your business, how you can impact the society or the environment at large while you're doing your great business. And another advice I'd give is never give up, to always push ahead. And you never know when that opportunity might just fall, just with that extra percent that you give in your determination and passion.
I am the African child.